Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, the 20th day of August, 2024. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your family's safe and healthy. I hope that you and your family's needs in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are out here trying their best to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help, rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, sex slavery. Double curses upon all the perpetrators. Double curses on all those who profit, and double curses on the perverts that create the demands for these heinous industries. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, senior citizens, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Today I want to focus on Julius Randle. You know, as we're now in the interim period between the end of the summer league and all of the signings that the Knicks needed to do and the training camp, there's time to go through some intricacies. As we looked at Tom Thibodeau yesterday, as we looked at the bench, as we looked at Precious, I want to look at Julius Randle today. It amazes me still how quickly large platforms and people that you might think know what they're talking about bring up the possibilities of trading Julius Randle, and for some of the silliest reasons. For example, if he doesn't sign an extension this year, people are looking for him to be traded. And I try to look at things realistically, even as a Knicks fan. And I will tell you this. Julius Randle, first of all, two-time All-NBA, 2020, 2021 Most Improved Player, three-time, including this past season, All-Star. Okay? He's eligible for a $181 million extension right now. And I think I mentioned before, he's in a position where he could wait. And the reason he's in that position is because of the contract he's playing under right now is enough so that he has multi-generational wealth already. When you add up all of the salary that he has gotten, the contracts he has signed from his rookie year, and then the mid-level exception that he played with in New Orleans, and then the $63 million he came to the Knicks with, and then the $100+ million he signed with the Knicks, he has enough wealth so that if he stopped playing basketball today, him and his pretty wife and his beautiful children, they'd be fine. In fact, not only they would be fine, their children's children would be fine. So he's not like he needs the money. But right now, he's in a position to take advantage of a maximum contract. So you have that. And generally speaking, any NBA player plays usually their best season in a contract year. And so in a sense, this is for Julius a contract type of season, except he doesn't have the pressure that others may have in that contract year. So he could make sure he's ready, which he's going to, for this season. Now, again, as a power forward, now people will ask another question, can he play the 5? And I understand why people would ask that, but no, he's not going to play the 5, and he doesn't need to, okay? And the reason is he's not really good at playing the 5. He is a natural power forward. Okay, that's what and he's extremely good, as I said. 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, right? As a power forward, most improved player. He's a power forward. That's what he does. That's what he is. And so you want to really play him, as Tom Thibodeau will, at that position as much as possible. Again, now in 2024, the knowledge of nutrition and exercise is pretty much at an all-time high for modern times. In the last, say, 200 years, it's at an all-time high. Okay, so people know better about how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, exercise, what's good, what's not so good. And that affects the longevity of a professional athlete's career, in this case, Julius Randle. So now he's going to be age 30 at the end of November. And so here, he really is in the middle of his prime. And so at this point, you have that combined with how much money he can make if he makes another All-NBA, which I'm favoring him to do that, as well as All-Star. And so you combine all that, and then there are people that are caught up. You see, the problem with some in Knicks Nation is they hold grudges. Okay? And I could half understand, like if somebody talked nasty about the Knicks as they were stepping out the door, yeah, you could say, okay, I remember that, okay, cool. But guys that wear the uniform that's put up with the crap that comes with being in Knicks Nation and are still here, we need to give them their props, especially one Julius Randle. He's been through ups and downs, frustrations with Knicks Nation, and he's still here, okay? And not only is he still here, he's now settled in New York. He's settled. This is his home. I think, if I may, he probably wants to retire as a player here in New York. He definitely has stated on more than one occasion he wants to win a championship in New York, okay? So now, you combine that with him playing for more money. And he's already one of the top, just by his accolades, power forwards in the NBA. You can argue who's better or whatever, but you cannot argue two-time All-NBA. That means twice in his career, he has been rated as one of the top 3 power forwards in the NBA. Twice. Okay? And then, of course, 3 times All-Star. And again, now he's coming to be 30 years old. Not only that, you have to understand, when you get different ages, you think differently as a 30-year-old than you might think as a 20-year-old in life. And then you think differently, believe me, when you're 40 than when you're 30. And you definitely think differently when you're 60. So as time goes on, a person changes and matures and sees things differently. This is also true in the area of sports. And so we're talking about pro basketball. A Julius Randle that was 20 years old when he's playing for the Lakers is a completely different, mentally, Julius Randle when he's 30 years old playing for the New York Knicks. As he has been in the league for all the years that he's been in the league, he now has seen the landscape. He's worked with guys like Kobe, for good or for bad, but he's worked with different people, seen different things. He's been now in the playoffs with Tom Thibodeau. He's developed his game. So now he's going into this season, age 30, understanding this is Jalen Brunson's team. He knows that. And he's not going to be stupid or childish and buck that like they're in high school. He's 30 years old, got 2 kids. He also knows this is a chance for him to fulfill his stated commitment and dream to win a championship in New York. And so, what am I saying? He will do whatever it takes to win that championship. For him, he may not average the same points that he always has averaged. Like Julius is if you're looking at it as a career, 641 games, 19-9. But last year was more indicative of what he's been in New York, 24-9. That's pretty much what he's been. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw less scoring, like 19-20, and more rebounding, like 11-12. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. And so, because that would help the Knicks in terms of winning. And then when you combine that with the position he'll be playing in terms of the pecking order offensively, this year's Knicks team, to me, will be a lot like the Knicks championship teams of the past with Walt Clyde Frazier, in the sense that one of the mantras of those teams, aside from toughness and defense under Red Holzman, was hit the open man. Okay? Hit the open man. What will happen offensively with the Knicks, Jalen Brunson's going to take most of the shots. That's going to happen, okay? There's no doubt about that, and he should. He's going to have the ball in his hand most of the time, and he's going to take most of the shots. And he should. Again, that's another guy that's now on the come up and just getting into his prime from last year. So that's going to happen, and Julius understands that. The second thing is, Now you're looking for offensively, and this is with every NBA team, you're looking for mismatches. Okay, you're trying to create mismatches, which is why you see a lot of picks, a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of off-ball movement. Tom Thibodeau is very good at this with the Knicks. People like to focus on the guy that stands on the outside, but they don't focus on the other 4 guys that are moving all over the floor. So, and that's why Tom Thibodeau's teams are generally top 10, not just in defense, but offense as well. So, with that, they're looking for mismatches, and you're going to get them because of Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson, because you have to guard Mitchell Robinson around the rim. You can't just let him float into the key and get lobs. You can't let him do that. So, and most teams will not. He's still going to get some, but they're going to be playing against it. That will create mismatches. Mismatches for Julius Randle. So the defense may try to shade toward Julius. Then you're going to open up the door for Mikal to kill you. And he will. Okay? And so that's what's going to open stuff up. Julius will get mismatches on a block. He's going to kill people when he does that. And don't let it, he's not the greatest three-point shooter, but we've all seen what will happen when his three-pointer is dropping. And so you're going to get that. He's like a 33% for his career three-point shooter. I expect that to be the same. But that just means he's going to have free reign to shoot the three. But there's going to be nights where that baby's dropping. And there's going to be a problem for the NBA. So overall, I guess what I'm saying is, I'm expecting Julius to have his best season this year. I'm expecting him to have his best season this year. And defensively, I'm still getting comments Julius doesn't play defense. It is capital B, capital S. Because over the last 2 seasons especially, he has picked up a lot on the defensive end of the floor. When they were 14-2, he was playing defense. Him with OG. They were locking down on defense. They weren't just offensive juggernauts. They were locking down on defense. And that's no coincidence. Okay, like I said, he's a different player at 30 than even when he came to the Knicks when he's 27, 26. He's a different player. And so he's smarter now. He knows what he needs to do. People don't give him enough credit for that. Yes. Does he have his emotions on his sleeve? Yes, he does. What? You expect him to walk on water? Can y'all? No. But he's going to have his moments. There's no doubt. But that's a two-edged sword. So yes. He has his emotions on his sleeve, and sometimes he can get out of control. We've seen that. But he's 30 now. And not only that, those emotions, you want them. When he's fired up and you need a rebound, he'll get it. Okay? He'll get it. And when you're talking about championship, you're talking about getting stops when you need to. That's what we're always talking about defense. You got to get stops when you need to. And you got to get the rebound when you need to get one. And that's where Julius Randle comes in. So you add the other piece like a Josh Hart that is really adept at 6'4", at getting rebounds. And you have Julius. The Knicks are going to be all right. But I'm expecting this to be Julius's best season. Maybe not best season statistically, but as a team player, playing in a system with Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Jalen Brunson, I think he's going to be dangerous. And then he's going to be healthy. See, that's why they're not guaranteeing when he'll be back. It's not that he's still hurt. He's going to come back roaring and ready to go. And I'm very confident in that. And when he does, there's going to be hell to pay. Okay, there's going to be hell to pay. Because he's got an offensive repertoire. Y'all remember he's suspending the double teams all the time. That ain't him now. He does it once in a while, but it ain't nowhere like where it was when he first came to the Knicks. It ain't nothing like that. So he's going to know how to attack when they double team. And if they do, I hope they do double team. Because the Knicks are going to kill you if you do that. So I'm expecting his best season. I think also for a career, he averages about 4 assists. Last year, he was averaging 5. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Juju average 6 assists or 5, more than 5 this year, because that's indicative of his maturity and what Thibodeau is doing with him offensively, put him in a position to be almost like playmaker. I wouldn't call him a playmaker, but playmaking. He does some good playmaking out of the power forward spot from the post. And you're going to see that too. So I'm expecting him to be at his best. And that, brethren, if you get Julius Randle playing like I just told you he's going to play, and you get everybody else doing their normal thing, I'm expecting big improvement from the Knicks because of that. I'm expecting also Deuce McBride to be shooting 40% from three for the season. He's going to go through up and down, but I'm expecting him to be shooting 40%. I'm also expecting him to have a little teardrop floater added to his game along with the stellar defense. And of course, I think DiVincenzo is going to be even more lethal coming off the bench. Okay, so you're going to have, and then of course, you got Precious playing for his money for next year as well. So, and to me, and looking at yesterday with examining Thibodeau's Chicago Bulls teams, the 62-win team and then the 50-win team in the 66-game season, Taj Gibson was 25. And he was playing the same role that Precious Achiuwa is playing now. And Taj Gibson and Precious Achiuwa, 25-year-old Taj Gibson, is very similar to 25-year-old Precious Achiuwa. I think Tibbs is going to love this kid. And I think it's going to be beneficial for New York. We'll see what happens, but I'm very confident in Juju having his best season, which is going to cause the Knicks, again, to be a championship contender in the East. Y'all enjoy your Tuesday. Shalom.